What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Smoking Tire Podcast. This podcast is sponsored by Migliore Luxury Car Care Products. Migliore is known for making the best of the best when it comes to car care. Their product line is handmade and poured right here in the USA in Connecticut. Migliore's Strata Coating is a ceramic coating treatment you can easily apply yourself. It adds a ton of gloss, lasts over a year, and keeps your car looking great for longer in between washes. It's extremely hydrophobic, meaning water just sheets right off, making maintenance so much easier. Strata Coating has over 100 positive reviews on Amazon if you need to vet it. With spring right around the corner, you can use code TST at checkout at migliorewax.com. That's MIGLIORE wax.com. Get 10% off at migliorewax.com. You know, I've got ceramic on a top of a wrap on my 911, and I actually have a hard time getting it dirty. I keep trying to get it dirty because it's a Safari 911, and so it should look dirty. And actually, the dirt keeps just coming right off. It's actually very funny. 10% off using code TST at checkout for migliorewax.com. Also, got to talk to you for a second about the Brio Beardscape. You know, just about every guy I know owns a trimmer, the battery-powered or plug-in buzzer that trims your hair. And just about every guy has had a bad experience with at least one crappy trimmer. Either the blades get dull really fast and start pulling hairs, they're loud, clattery, the motor feels weak, or the battery just stops holding a charge. If that sounds familiar, it's time to upgrade to the Brio Beardscape. I've been using the Beardscape about once a week for a year, like 50, 60 shaves, and I have yet to charge it. I charged it once when I first bought it. I still haven't charged it yet. There's a little life left in that battery. I will have to charge it soon. It's approaching like a year and a half. I will have to charge it soon, but like it has legit been like at least 14 months. The Beardscape is perfect for trimming your face, head, or for general manscaping. One of the reasons the Beardscape cuts better is because it has a ceramic blade that's extremely sharp and stays sharper much longer than stainless steel. One of my other favorite things about the Beardscape is how quiet yet powerful this trimmer is. It really is quiet, like a Tesla, quiet and powerful. It may be time for you guys to upgrade to the Beardscape. Check it out at brio4life.com. That's BRIO, the number 4, life.com, and use code SMOKING at checkout. That's Brio, the number 4, life.com, code SMOKING at checkout, and that's for the best price on the internet for the Brio Beardscape. All right, on this episode of the Smoking Tire Podcast, very excited to have this gentleman. It's Mr. Rob Bender Park from the show Truck Night in America. This dude isn't just a TV show host. He is an off-road racer, a wrench, a fabricator, a builder. He is one of the original people that founded the King of the Hammers off-road race. And as you can imagine, Bender has some stories. You don't get a name like Bender without earning a few stories on the way. So here he is from Truck Night in America, Rob Bender Park on the Smoking Tire Podcast. Hell yeah. It's the Smoking Tire Podcast. Welcome, folks. It's raining like a motherfucker. I am amazed we have internet, frankly, because I didn't at my house. It was a shit show over there. There was rivers running through Venice this morning.
It's always going out in Venice. That
is Patrick Costello, the executive producer of Truck Night in America. And we got Mr. Rob Bender Park on left mic. What's happening, man? Brother? How you doing?
Nothing. It's another day in L.A. I don't know.
Just another rainy, shitty day in L.A.?
Yeah, absolutely, man.
It's good. Thank you for coming all this way down from far away. Ridgecrest. Yeah. If you like the dirt, Ridgecrest is your spot, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, brother.
That's where the city ends and the dirt begins, pretty much.
Yep, pretty much. You just off-road right out of the driveway.
Yeah, that's awesome. You actually don't need a trailer for your toys. It's just you leave your house. And
absolutely.
Is that far enough outside of town? Can you UTV on the street out there without any issues?
Yeah, well, most of the cops in town are customers of the shop and stuff, so... I'm not saying I got a free ticket, but yeah.
Allegedly, if I just need to test these brakes to make sure they're working and I have no other place to do it, what are you going to do?
Oh, no,
what are you gonna do?
We've got some serious. We had issues, man. We had. There's a 650 horsepower car we were playing with. It weighs 2,000 pounds as a rock crawler. We were doing wheelies up and down the street, and this thing is a rear engine.
As you do.
And it's loud.
It's like a buggy type of vehicle, I imagine?
Yeah, four-wheel steering thing. It's kind of crazy.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Oh, yeah. It was dumb.
And so wait, if you're doing four-wheel steering buggy, do you have separate front and rear steering controls, or are they linked and you crab walk always?
No, it's separate. So steering wheel on the front, full hydro, and then a selectable, just a joystick in the rear. But
oh, cool. So
like
you just like smash it left or right? Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then it's self-centered, so it's kind of cool.
Oh, that seems like actually a remarkably good system to use.
You can do some pretty cool shit with it. It's pretty cool.
But rear steers, like.
Oh yeah, but it gets you in trouble fast. So we were doing wheelies up and down the street, and seriously, and then so we come sliding in sideways into the shop, and I don't know. I think all of Ridgecrest, like 6 cops, come pulling in after me. But so we had a little come to Jesus, but
it happens.
They let me go.
Like that guy in San Francisco who made his own Gymkhana film with like I don't know if it was a trophy truck or a UTV, but man, did he get air? Yeah. That guy caught some air in San Francisco. Don't do that at home, but also wow,
it was awesome. It was cool.
Truck Night in America, as it turns out, is a good show.
Well, thank you.
It actually, like, you know how hard it is to make a good show about cars?
It's hard.
It's really fucking hard.
It's hard.
But it's also not hard. It's hard, but it's not hard. Like,
it's hard because you're trying to please 2 groups of people, the car people and the non-car people.
Well, the key is, I think everyone says that they're tired of reality show drama bullshit, like fake, but then they aren't, because the more shows come out that have it. But here, you guys, you just take 5 people, shove them in their own trucks.
Yep.
Let them drive until they break. Give commentary, repair when necessary. But it's fundamentally just people beating the shit out of their own trucks on TV for your entertainment.
Yeah, they show up, they destroy the rigs, and they have a great time. It's incredible.
But that's awesome. That's just a great show.
And sometimes they're fixed. This is the man that does it. Right?
Sometimes they're fixed. I watched you fix that poor girl. I saw in her face with the Jeep.
Yeah, Jen.
Have those episodes aired yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
the 2 that you saw there.
Oh my! He sent me 2. I don't have cable at the moment, so I got to rely on Patrick to bootleg the shit for me. But like, dude, this poor girl like rolls her shit backwards down a very steep hill. And you managed to fix it in 60 minutes?
It's no shit 60 minutes. When they say it's an hour in the shop, it is literally an hour in the shop. So and it's 103 degrees.
Yeah, they told me Augusta in August.
Yeah, bro. It's not good.
Listen, executive producer, you need to do something about that.
It's got to be cost effective.
I know they have good tax
effective.
breaks, but Jesus, can we do something? Can we like factor one of the like, it's got to be the sweatiest place in the sweatiest month. There's not a lot of wiggle room.
Hey, we have limited air conditioning.
Yeah, if we get to season 3, we're going to renegotiate these contracts, Bender.
We have air conditioning in the shop. That's a good story too, though. Here's a tangent. So
please, I'll take all the tangents.
Pistol Pete's no longer with us, but Pistol Pete and I were he's a desert guy. I'm a rock crawler. He was one of the hosts on the show.
I saw him. I wasn't going to bring it up, but yeah, I heard he died in a crash, which is unfortunate. He was like, I never met him. He was a real like a presence on the show though.
Oh yeah,
because he had that kind of booming voice. It really carried.
Yeah. You can't miss Pete. And so we were since I've known him for probably 15 years or so, 16 years, and he came out to race King of the Hammers, and we didn't hit it off, and then we were frenemies, and we all just kind of we're always at it, and since the very first day we were just trying to outdo each other, and back to
what
the
he's
air
trying to say is
conditioner.
they just constantly fucked with each other the entire time.
Yeah,
how does this
that's
relate?
it. Yeah. So in the air conditioning, air conditioning in the shop. So there's 3 air conditioners in the shop, and they all blow down the shop. It's 103 outside, and I just happened to steal his air conditioning control. So when he was in there for that hour, banging away on this truck, trying to get it done, him and Wes, and I shut his air conditioner off. And it wasn't until the last part of the show when they were literally soaking wet that
Hang on a second.
Yeah, hey, son of a bitch is hot, and I show him there. Yeah, it's just shit like that. It was constant though, never ending.
That show is first off, I like the variety of vehicles. I think it's fun. I saw that this dude hacked up his wife's Lexus and put like inboard rear suspension in that shit. That was awesome.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That maniac in the Trailblazer, that was awesome. The puddle duck or whatever that guy was called. I think good driving can beat good building in a lot of these cases.
Every day.
That guy was
Every
nuts.
day.
Absolutely.
You get people showing up with like $100,000 and they're 70 whatever, making like 700 horsepower, and somebody that shows up in a nothing truck that knows how to drive can beat them. It's incredible.
Yeah, this episode they sent me, this fool shows up in a does not look like a very heavily modified Trailblazer. It's like
It's
6-cylinder, mild lift, a couple of skid plates, but really not a lot going on
Yeah,
there.
that's about right.
But he had the mist in his eyes. And
Tim could drive.
that
Tim's a
guy was on it. Yeah. What was that guy's story?
Tim's a mud racer. It's that they do the circle track racing stuff back down south, and that thing is like waterproof crazy and intake through the cab, but it's pretty much a stock truck, welded diff, water in the rear tires for extra weight, and just to loosen up behind the steering wheel, man. He just sent that thing. It was bent in
back
half.
it up. Water in the rear tires.
Yeah, to add weight.
Really?
It's just like Jen. You talked about Jen backflipping off of that waterfall.
Yeah.
We put water in the front tires, so you'll fill the tire half full of water. So it'll add, 750 pounds.
Wow.
Or so.
I've
And then you
never
winch-
actually heard of that.
Yeah, you winch to the front axle, and then it keeps that chassis from unloading. But
Sounds like a dumb question, but
No.
How do you get water in the tire?
It's just like an adapter, just like putting air in the tire.
Through the filler.
Yeah,
you can
through the
you can
filler.
shoot water through that.
Yeah, and then you just set the tire wherever you
Yeah.
want, and like
and
half
so
the
it
tire.
bleeds out air while water's going in.
Yeah, well,
Oh, I
you
never
just
heard
run
that
it
shit.
flat. You run it flat, and then you just fill it up. So
Oh, yeah.
water pressure is like 30 psi anyway. So
Oh, cool. I never thought of that.
yeah,
That's a
it's-
neat trick.
No, it's like when we do competition rock crawling. We use a lead substitute, but lead or in the front tire, so it gets that center of gravity way low.
So does it actually like lead like shot or
Yeah.
something? So it
Yeah.
rolls around inside the tire.
Yep.
Does that have like a weird feeling if you bring the truck to a stop and it's like
not as bad as a Hummer, man.
Oh, the portals. the
fucking portal brakes, man. I watched your show on the Hummer.
we
and-
just drove one where they fixed that.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Did they fix the rest of the whole truck?
Listen,
I'm not a Hummer fan.
I know, and I'm not a Hummer fan either. But I'm sorry for everyone in the last 3 episodes I've been talking about this truck, but they mostly unshitboxed the Hummer. Mostly, it's got a lot more power. It's got a much better suspension. It doesn't do the stupid rocky thing on the brake.
yeah.
It has better brakes, period. And it has a transfer case that you can put into 2-wheel drive, so you can drift it.
So once you change all the
Once you
drivetrain,
change everything.
all the suspension, and then unmilitarize the thing,
Yeah.
and you spend $200,000 on
Yes,
it, and it's comparable
great
to like a,
once you change everything.
oh yeah, no, it's,
It's perfect. It's perfect the way it is. It just needs everything.
yeah.
Yeah, we had 2 in the show. They didn't do so great.
No, I owned
So.
one and it was awful.
Yeah.
It was awful. And I don't think this one would, I don't think I'm going to go back to Hummers because of it. But like, the fact of the matter is, a decent Alpha is $150,000.
They look cool though. I mean, those look
And
like fun trucks.
It was fun. It was fun. And it was the best kind of Hummer is fucking somebody else's.
That's what I got. 7 months of driving somebody else's. That was when I went
Yeah.
back to Blue Torch, and I think what the hell did I buy? It was some Mazda shit box so I could give him back his truck. Because I moved there and he was like, just drive the Hummer. Everybody thought it was cool who didn't know any better.
Everyone thought it was cool except the person who's got to drive it around.
Yeah.
And it sucks.
Or the guys that know better, and then they go, the Hummer. Well, yeah.
It's like driving a school bus.
It is.
It's
and
really
fucking slower than a school bus.
really
but,
bad.
yeah.
I'll tell you what, 1,000 pounds of torque is a good number in a Hummer. That's enough where Timmy drove it. Tell him, Timmy.
Yeah, man. 500 horsepower, 1,000 pounds of torque.
I mean, a nice
It got up,
big,
it
nice
went.
big Duramax and a 6-speed Allison gearbox.
But it still weighs 8,000 pounds.
They actually take some weight out of it. The one I drove was 7,100.
So it's like an F-350.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
Or
kinda.
Duramax.
Yeah, it was quick enough to like. It got out of its own way, and I did donuts in it.
Oh, we're gonna have to take you for a ride.
It
in
was
the Ultra
pretty
4
cool.
car.
No, I know you guys you guys build the craziest shit. This is just some shit for some rich dudes. This isn't like the hardcore anything.
Well, I don't know if I'm hardcore. I'm like,
You guys race King of the Hammers. It's fucking hardcore.
it's 12 hours in a car this year. I pissed myself. It was literally the catheter
That's-
came loose. It was
That's
fun.
either hardcore or the least hardcore thing ever, depending on which end of the spectrum you're on.
yeah,
So
we
wait,
actually-
so your background before all this TV show bullshit, all this reality show bullshit, you're a Hammers guy.
Yeah. I used to race desert, class 516, like just a the Joe Blow class, Southern Nevada off road, and then like in 1999, this shit called rock crawling came out, man, and you saw vehicles. I always built stuff, so this new form of motorsport came out.
Was that really when rock crawling kind of started?
Competition.
99? Was
Yeah.
it? Oh, in competition?
Competition, Chile Challenge.
It does sound super recent.
Yeah, it is.
That sounds so recent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then, as a fabricator, I just, like, fuck, that's cool, man. I gotta build something that'll do that. And the first competition vehicle I ever had was a Samurai with
Hell
license
yeah.
plates.
Hell yeah.
And did pretty good. And I'd worked for some
Samurais
shops.
are dope.
Oh yeah, it was badass.
And there was one on the show that had
Yep.
like extended wheelbase and
Yep.
like extended track width, and it was mobbing.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great.
Wes.
It won. It was kind of like the Hummer, though. He basically changed everything, and
They are
then
great.
It was awesome.
A Samurai is also great once you change everything.
Switch it all Toyota. Yeah. So I mean, that's where I came from, rock crawling and shit, and then built some. Moved to Nevada, and I built the national champs car, and then I'm not sounding old as shit, but like 2000, I think it's 4 or 5, something like that. And I built the first, second, and fourth place cars in the world that year.
Wow.
So that was
okay,
pretty
so
cool.
in a commercial, if you're building a championship level rock crawling vehicle, what are your key attributes that go into this thing?
Unsprung weight, sprung and unsprung weight. So
Right.
get everything you can on the axles. That's where the lead and the tires and stuff, and then the actual sprung weight just as light as possible.
Well, that's like real counter to road racing. and shit
Absolutely,
like
yeah.
I do.
Or
Yeah, like,
Baja or
wait, you want to
anything
add unsprung weight? Like, fuck out of
Oh
here.
yeah, Dude, it rides like shit. There's no handling really.
Are you starting with production vehicles? Or are you building tube frame buggies? Full tube frame buggy?
All tube frame.
Okay,
and then
cool.
I'm kind of weird. I guess I like being broke, but like most people will get a real solid design down. They tweak it over years. There's some really badass builders out there that have built, a dozen or so of the same chassis and they get all bugs work out. I think I built 3 of the same car, and then every other car's totally different. So
just
I'm
because you just have a desire for variety, or the
not doing the
customer
same
wants
shit.
something else, or
Yeah, I just don't like doing the same shit over again. I've had razor cage businesses, I've all kinds of, and production work sucks.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I had a whole life-changing, now I'm going to run off, but I had this whole life-changing episode. I used to be a buyer for Enron.
Stop.
No, seriously, bro. I had to come over and...
this is like the Duck Dynasty guys wearing khakis in them old pictures, right?
Yep.
Remember that? You ever see them pictures of Duck
And-
Dynasty
yep.
guys?
Yeah, that was me. And then-
Pre-camo.
So then, shit, Enron went under, and buddies died and divorced, and and I just said, fuck it, I'm going to go play off-road, and now I just...
Seems that has worked out for you.
I'm not a millionaire, man, but I have fun every single day.
That's nice.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm digging
if you can go to work every day and not dread that getting up in the morning and going, at the very least, that's like a real big leg up on the world.
No, I enjoy the shit out of it. I work 100 hours a week. That's no shit. I had surgery a week ago.
Fuck
on my
out of
foot.
here.
No,
For what?
Foot surgery. I still have a
my
3-inch
God, really?
long, got 20-something
What
stitches
happened?
in my foot. I heel spurs. It cut the bone off.
Oh, that sucks.
Bunch of
Oof.
shit. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was. So I've been at the shop for the last week, banging away still.
Wow.
But I love it.
Would you rather wrench or would you rather drive?
I don't know. I'd probably rather wrench. Honestly, I enjoy driving. It gives you, some of the best drivers are builders, especially in our sport. And I'm a pretty good driver, but I like all the vehicle dynamics. I love suspension geometry and steering geometry and all the shit that goes into building it. And I don't know. It's just like, and then you get to go tear it up. It's like building a model car when you're a kid, and you put it all together, and you go blow it up with firecrackers, and you fucking tape it back together.
I
again.
never blew mine up. I kept mine on the shelf for like the entire rest of my life. I think this is a metaphor for like
Yeah.
how I live versus how
Street
you
cars
fucking live.
versus off road. That is
Totally.
absolutely it. You just nailed it.
Yeah,
That's
and now my real garage looks just like the fucking shelf I had too.
Poster garage.
Fuck, mine does too. Mine's a pile of fucking parts in the yard. So it's totally, you nailed it. Yeah.
It all comes true.
it's
So
true.
okay, wait. Other than a lot of unsprung weight and not much sprung weight, like what's a popular powertrain setup that people are doing
Little
right now?
Ecotex or even Volkswagen back in the day, but a little 4-cylinders because you got just huge amounts of gearing. You'll have a couple hundred to one. So because you're not doing anything faster than 10 miles an hour. Honestly, you got to be able to bump it up. So you have a little turbocharged shitbox motor.
Oh,
and
just a basic like economy. And what do those go? And that's going in the back or the front, or where's that
usually
going?
mid-engine, kind of in the rear now with a they call them a moon buggy, but you see right through your feet, so you can see everything that's there.
Is it
How
just
much power
it's
does
just
that-
an exoskeleton? I'm sorry, Pat.
No, it's good.
Yeah, it's a full tube chassis. How much power?
The Ultra 4 car, how much
Oh,
power
really?
is that?
Oh,
gonna
and
get?
mine?
Yeah.
In the Ultra 4 car?
Yeah.
We just added dyno. It's 741. We had it detuned a little bit.
That, and a 4-cylinder?
No. That's
like an LS
LS7
motor. Oh,
yeah.
okay, yeah.
It's an LS based motor. It's
Well,
kind of
I'm trying to picture. Tim,
rock-
can you give me a picture of an Ultra 4 rock crawler? I would like to get it. Or how would they find yours specifically, Bender?
That's actually on my page, I think.
I want to because I've heard Ultra 4 thrown around a few times, but I can't quite picture it.
It's basically a combination
That car
rock
right there.
In the middle
crawler
there?
desert
Oh,
racer.
okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. It's okay. So picture a rock crawler style Baja buggy.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it's independent
exactly.
front suspension, 22 inches of travel, 26 in the rear right now, strapped out.
Cool.
LS based, about 5,000 pounds, 40-inch tires.
What do you use for gearboxes in one of these things?
Actually, that one's pretty simple. Went away from an 480E and went back to a Turbo 400.
Really?
And so just keeping it stupid
With just
simple.
a reverse valve body, like
Absolutely
shifter?
manual valve body and to a Atlas transfer case. So,
Oh, that's it, huh?
Yeah, and then we went into competition crawling. You're down into 4 and 5 to 1. This thing's got a 2 to 1 transfer case, so that thing will do 126.
That's pretty cool.
This is pretty fast in the
Yeah.
dirt, and then be able to crawl up stupid shit. So
That's really
it
awesome.
looks really cool right there, but man, after 12 hours straight, in
Yeah, it
that
probably
car a
looks
couple
pretty
weeks ago,
gnarly.
yeah,
How's
it
your
looks like
back
shit.
after 12 hours in that
I
car?
broke my back 2 years ago in that
Yeah, I
car. We hit a
figured.
big
That
ass
sounds-
rock, and
I'm sorry.
yeah,
That's fucked. I'm sorry.
that actually that.
Oh,
shot
is that it right there?
Yeah, watch this shit.
Oh, we can play this.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Here's video.
It's pretty uneventful.
This is from Rob
Is this you
Bender
breaking your
Park
back?
on Instagram.
This
folks.
is hitting a rock.
This is where you broke your back?
Yeah.
You're mobbing, dude. Oh, even the
Yeah.
crowd saw that one. Yeah.
sounds good
Oh,
now.
you're probably going from 20 to 0, just like
I don't know. It was bad.
that's a pretty hard hit, man.
It knocked us both out, and then
It knocks you out.
yeah, both Brent and we're wearing Hans and everything, but Brent took a helicopter ride. I'm a
Really?
dumbass. I broke 2 vertebrae, and I drove the car back a couple miles to camp, and then
And you both broke your back, right?
yeah, we both broke our back.
Oh my god,
Now-
that's
now that
so
back break-
gnarly.
Yeah, it used to be called the Sand Hill. Now they call it Brokeback Mountain.
Do they? That's perfect.
Seriously,
That's perfect.
yeah, that's not too cool. You got it
That's
named after you.
so
This-
great. I hope someone made a sign with a little movie poster there. You guys,
The coolest part about the video, the car sounds good.
it does sound
Yeah,
good. Yeah.
Dan Gio does all our stuff down here in the valley.
So wait, in that activity, that's just a big rock covered hill. Was that in competition?
yeah, actually, that's part of the course. It's just called the Sand Hill. It's a little annoying little bypass. It's not really rock crawling or anything. You just got to climb up this sandy hill with these rocks in it. And the guy I raced with, Brent, was driving. He's the car owner, and he just was going too fast. Just driver error. Just ran out of talent. I hate to say it that way, but honestly, that's what happens. You just run out of talent.
You break your back, you're allowed to call it like you see it,
and-
even if it hurts his feelings a little bit.
Yeah,
you
just-
earned that one.
It's every year I say I'm not doing that shit anymore, and I've raced it like every year I've raced that thing.
Is that I mean, it looks like an expensive sport.
Very much so. That car's
Like-
pretty cheap. It's about 170 or so in that car.
What's it cost to run if you don't break anything too bad?
$6,000 every time we fire the car up.
Shit, really?
Yeah. So all the just to pull
What are the
everything
top
apart.
guys spending?
Wow,
Like-
$6,000 every time you start it?
Yeah, if we go race it, $6,000
yeah,
if
yeah.
nothing breaks, and
Just
then
in consumables.
yeah,
pretty much.
Oh yeah, but then there's the logistics and all the shit. This
Yeah,
is 4
oh,
apart.
yeah,
so,
right.
But just I'm just talking race prep to pull the diffs out of the car, you pull the axles, pull everything out, and transmission, you pull the shit apart. Every time I race the car, it's $6,000. Cody Wagner's car, Laser Nut. Cody's a badass. I've competed with him for years, but his car's. Yeah, he doesn't exactly say, but he's well in the $500,000 range.
Oof.
It's fucking.
Is
car
there
sick.
any such thing as value off-roading? UTVs, maybe?
Do they race stock UTVs at Hammers?
Yeah, they have a UTV class. It's pretty limited. you can go out there, but still, even racing some of the pure series and stuff up around Ridgecrest, you're gonna still be $60,000 into a Razor and support equipment, a trailer, and other shit to go racing. There's no such thing as there's no such
We're
thing
always
as
looking for
off-road.
cheap racing, but there's basically no such thing. I tried to do some cheap racing, and it was so expensive.
Yeah, you could go.
Was that like Chump or something?
Yeah, like AER, American Endurance Racing, just road course stuff in a cheap car, and I got a seat at a very good price from a friend of mine, and I didn't even have to pay for shit that broke, and it was still seriously expensive.
Yeah.
Tires and shit. Lemons is pretty cool. You can go out and bang with some ghetto cars. That's pretty cool.
But if you actually are, I mean, maybe not for you, because you could probably slap a cage together and pretty quickly, but if you're the customer for that vehicle and it's not you personally, even that is, your $500 car is really a $7,000 or $8,000 car. If it's a decent,
that's how I got into it, man. I couldn't afford shit, so I just started building stuff, and then people go, "Oh man, hey, build me something," and then, "Hey, build me something," and pretty good at it, and kind of grew up around it, and I dug it. So I'm actually I did some trolling on your stuff too. You had some fine arts degree and stuff. I have a
photography degree. Yeah,
I had commercial and graphic design.
Oh, really?
Yes, and then so I just kind of changed the medium to metal and kind of dig it. It's fun.
You picked it up at first as a hobby.
Well, no, I had my typical troubled childhood, dad in jail and mom's an addict and all that shit. I grew up with my grandparents, and my grandpa was a auto shop, metal shop teacher for like 50 years. So I grew up with my grandparents.
That helps.
Yeah, he was always, but it wasn't like this Cinderella story. I wanted, Patrick loves the story, I wanted a motorcycle, and he's all, well, let's build wagons. And I'm like, the fuck do I want to do with a wagon? But his buddy owned a hardware store, so we'd built like this whole fleet of wagons, and it was really cool steering and stuff. So he was teaching me along the way about steering geometry and scrub radius and all this other crap. And we sold them, and we bought a motorcycle, and we fixed it up, and it was a piece of shit. But we sold that, and so along the way, he was teaching me crap, and
that's great.
It sucked. Yeah.
Well, you don't understand
dumb.
why you need to learn this basic thing. You don't understand why it makes sense later. But
yeah, now it's pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to figure out how to make metal stick together.
Yeah, for 2 seasons now, I've wanted to learn how to weld on the show, and I still haven't had the chance.
A friend of mine took like a basic class and just like super enjoyed it. My girlfriend got me a blacksmithing class for my birthday.
Nice.
It was rad. I had the best time ever, although I couldn't lift my arm for like a week afterwards. The 2-kilogram hammer, fucking forget it.
What did you make?
I made a dinner triangle with a clanger, and it was actually pretty cool, but like it took like 6 hours to make, and our instructor like demoed it in like 12 minutes. He was swinging like a 4-kilogram hammer, give it one whack, and the thing would be like perfect. I'd have to hit it like 100 times. It was bad.
Got to swing a big hammer.
You got to swing that.
Buff.
He had that Viking arm and shit.
They say it's like guys with anger management issues do pretty good and that shit. Because I just beating on metal all day long is kind of cool. It's soothing.
Do you fuck with the rock bouncing?
You know what? A lot
that's
of the guys,
the craziest videos you could ever see.
Open shit. Now I competed on the West Coast and the East Coast for a number of years. I had 5 cars on this side, and hell, I have Class 1 cars racing this weekend in the Mint. But yeah, those guys are nuts, man. The first time I was back in Alabama, I was working for a shop back there. I was a fab whore. I just traveled all over the country, going from one project to the next. And this hill called Cable Hill, all these rock bouncers know exactly what I'm talking about. And I had a West Coast ass went over there. Well, that's it. I was laughing at it, but it is slippery and snotty. And I took this customer's buggy up this thing, and it had nitrous. It's just fucking ramjet. And I was hitting this wall. I was hitting this wall, third just wide open, smashing it, busted the front axle out of it, split the transfer case, all kind of shit, just jumping up this wall. And I
mean, I can't believe how willing these guys are to straight tumble down mountains.
Yeah, no.
Tim, pull that video over. These are just like guys going up a hill as fast as they possibly can, full throttle. Whoa. Holy music, bro. It's right.
1,000 horsepower.
Just smashing. Oh, is this an onboard? Oh, can we get an onboard of rock bounce, please? I'm so afraid of this for this guy's arms.
Yeah, being a West Coast guy, we're all about lightweight chassis and heavy, unsprung weight. This is exactly the opposite, man. He's got like 4 times the amount of tube.
Yeah, give me all the cage. I don't care about weight. I want all the roll cage. Wow, that onboard shot lasted 0.4 seconds. The second he hit the gas, that onboard shot was gone.
Yeah,
this is nuts though. Just smashing your way up a hill.
Would you do it? Would you do it?
Probably. No, I probably. Oh my god, at night they're doing it.
Dude,
I don't think
ridiculous.
I would.
You might think you would, and you get in there and you go,
nah.
You know
I
what?
think I'd look
TV never does it justice.
No.
Those guys have fucking balls.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of guts to just smash it like that.
Yeah, and off-road guys are really hard to impress too. You gotta go hard like that and win, or you have to break something in glorious fashion if you want to impress an off-road guy. Just getting down a trail is not enough for most of these guys.
Well, that was cool.
I take a car and I go down a trail and people were like, "Well, that was fucking lame."
But I've been doing this for forever, literally forever. And truck night is really cool. We're going to circle back around, but
sure.
To see these guys that have maybe really limited competition or none at all come out, and to see the fog of war set in and shit goes stupid and you don't think right and you take your head off.
You can definitely see the terror in some people's faces.
Jen, when she backflipped, she did not want to go up the hill. We were going to winch it, but when she got up the first little hill, she's like, "Oh, I got this shit." I'm like, "No, you don't. You pull up here and I want you to feel it. I got this. I got this."
It's that counter. It's a very steep and very slippery hill, and everyone's advice is if you start to slide or whatever, don't touch the brake
at all. But that's so counterintuitive.
Right.
You want shit to stop, so you just press on the brake. That's why everybody crashes.
Yeah.
Rally.
Does anyone ever
everything.
listen to you and just roll back down the hill, or do they always just crash?
Well, that takes time. Yeah, I mean, you've raced enough.
Yeah, I've never raced like that. I've done never any of those like crazy hill climb stuff where rolling over backwards is actually
that's steep,
awesome.
and it doesn't even do it justice, Patrick. Like the first hill is 65 degrees, and the second one's 70.
That's
and it's
super steep.
And the whole obstacle is like 70 feet in elevation change. So each one of those waterfalls is like 20 feet. So you're back flipping off higher than your roof.
It's
You're
really
just
high.
Yeah, she didn't just roll. She fell,
Oh, yeah.
and then she kept falling for a
and
while.
slid and banged. And she got up. She's a trooper. She's like, "Hey, let's roll it back over. We got this." And I'm looking at the steaming pile of Jeep going, "No,
that Jeep
no, we're
didn't-
done right now."
That Jeep had a rough fucking. That was a real like drive it until it's completely dead. Good story at the end, man.
Well, a lot of these people come out and they've had these rigs for years or decades, and they've never competed. They've never been able to just go for it 100%, and so that when they get the chance, they go
It's
bananas.
so amazing that you get these guys who are willing to just destroy their own cars so you guys can earn a living.
Well, we have that's part of the off-road shit, though. Now we hear that quite often, but any given weekend, like Bender, my nickname is short for Tin Bender. Don't follow him; he's a Tin Bender. I smash my shit up. So, and then it was our whole group were Tin Benders, and that was the club, and then it went on to King of the Hammers is actually owned by a tin bender,
okay.
Dave Cole. So that whole racing series was kind of born of us just fucking smashing into each other on the trail. So we break a lot more normally off-roading than the competitors do on the trail. So people from the outside, they look at it, they go,
they do some numbers.
"Oh my God, that guy just destroyed his vehicle." And you go, "Well, if you're medium to hardcore, you're breaking your shit every weekend anyway." So it's kind of the if you don't have to tow it on the trail, you ain't going hard enough kind of a mentality. And so they're not completely destroying the rig. Some of them, Teresa Loomis, the first season, where she just tacos this international scout from like 8 feet in the air, lands on the brakes and just snapped the frame and snapped the axle. She did a number on it.
Consumer advice: international scouts are actually made of rust. They were made of rust new.
This thing bent in half.
Yeah, it was bad.
That was a standard feature on a Scout.
That was the
immaculately
very
restored to its original rust condition. I like the variety of the stuff people bring out. Like this, I mean, there's obviously a heavy Toyota 4Runner and representation.
Jeeps and Toyota. I mean, that's the staple of off-road.
Have anyone brought a Defender out yet?
Not
Defenders?
Yet. No,
we
we've tried to get
them
out there. I've been trying to get a Defender, and I really want to see a Cayenne out there.
Oh, like a Trans-Siberia? Fuck yeah, dude.
We had one that was in contention, and then we had a scheduling conflict.
What, Joey Seeley, would he come out? He just built that crazy Overland Cayenne.
We're into it.
We have to get Joey Seeley out there. Yeah, he built a dope like diesel Overland. It's got like big, tall, adjustable coilovers
Perfect.
and like Sparco wheels. It's
If
rad.
he could drive.
Perfect.
He can drive.
Let's get him
Just
out
like
there.
you said, man,
He can
it's crazy. There's some awesome rigs.
I don't think my 911 would survive.
You never know. You never know.
No
I think you
fucking
can do it. I
way.
think
The
you can do it.
water, I couldn't drive that thing through that much water.
Just
know,
water.
put a snorkel on it.
Yeah, put a snorkel on it.
Snorkel on an air. What happens? Did you an air cooled car? Does an air cooled car become water cooled if you drive it into a lake? What happens?
I don't know. I've had my Volkswagen.
What happened with the Volkswagens?
I had my Volkswagen like just buried. As
You
long as
did?
you can get air, it does good.
You had a snorkel on it and you had it buried in underwater.
Well, no, not on that. I've had shit dozens of Volkswagens, and growing up, and I've blown up everything. I've had like 50 or 60
What's the
different cars.
deepest water you ever drove a Volkswagen through?
Oh shit.
Successfully.
Yeah, successfully at speed. I don't know. It's a couple feet. Nothing like the swamp. The
swamp looks deep.
Yeah, it is. It's way deep, and then it rains like crazy. It's fucking
Georgia in August. Yeah.
Right, so it'll be 1 minute it'll be over your waist, and then next minute it'll maybe like knee deep. So people are like, well, how did that guy make it and that guy didn't? And
Dude, you know what we really got to do? What you really have to do is like a best motoring style stock show. Like where you have me and like Johnny Lieberman, like I'll bring a Range Rover. Johnny, of course, would have a G-Wagon because he's Mr. fucking G-Wagon, right? You get like a heavy duty like Toyota Land Cruiser.
He's got to show up with that new one.
Guy, yeah, and we run 4 brand new stock trucks.
It'll be a good test of those vehicles.
They're
for
all
sure.
gonna die.
Yeah, well, they probably all won't make it to the
Like
end.
a
You never know.
Wrangler, Rubicon, a Raptor, a Range Rover, and a G-Wagon.
The
We had a
Rubicon will
Raptor.
have a chance.
We had a
Have
Raptor.
you had a Raptor?
We had a
How did
Raptor.
do?
Yeah, the Bush brothers.
Kurt Busch drove a Raptor on it.
Yeah,
Did he
and
really?
Kyle
How'd they
Roach.
do?
Yeah, it did pretty well. It was modified. It did pretty well. It's the air intake so low on it that it
Had
ended
a
up sucking in some water.
Tundra, a brand new Tundra out there. So the Raptor and the Tundra ended up going against each other, and they both hydrolocked them. They both just just sucked water.
They both hydrolocked.
Well, the Tundra fried the electrics.
Oh.
Yeah.
Kyle took it into the pond doing like 60.
Nice.
And it just was like a tidal wave over the hood and just fried it.
Yeah,
I think it was awesome.
The waters. What was with? Okay, can you explain the? I saw one of them guys on the show. One of the hosts shoot the engine with like PB blaster or something before going in the water. Can you explain the science of that?
Yeah, every electrical connection on the thing, especially some of the older vehicles, they're not watertight.
Right.
So you spray everything with PB blaster and it just repels water, just like WD-40. So it doesn't hurt anything. It smokes and it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But you spray everything down, just coat the whole damn motor, and then every connection, it just naturally repels water.
And it doesn't negatively affect anything in the motor? Oh,
No, it
really?
doesn't-
That's
doesn't-
kind of a neat trick.
Yeah, it's super simple. So you see us doing all kinds of. They hate it when they're like, "What are you guys doing in the shop?" And they want to film some cool shit, and you're going, "Well, I'm making a protector for the air cleaner, and I'm spraying oil on the motor." And they go, "Yeah, but what else
you
can
do
we do?"
something that makes
We want to see
sparks?
sparks. Yeah, it's the rule of television. I don't
Rupert.
know, grind some metal. Dude.
Rupert,
That's
Rupert.
that's
He was
the
like,
most-
"More sparks, more sparks.
Yeah.
Come on,
Sparks
bring
and
them more
drifting.
sparks."
Yeah.
Every show, every automotive show has some dude standing there with a
Dude,
grinder
you know
making
what?
sparks.
I'll tell you what. Life imitates art because my friend works for a very prominent tuning company. Street cars, but big power stuff. And by far, the most common requests they get are the burble tunes. So it's on deceleration and fire tunes. Not most power, not valets or like special fuels. Nothing. It's fire and gunshot exhaust. That's the most common request.
Now,
So how are they doing the gunshot exhaust? Like, what is that? Just a little dump a little
You
gas
just
in
dump
there?
gas. Yeah, when you just dump more fuel into it when you're down decelerating. Like there's really not much to it.
sound like me at my ex-girlfriend's house, man. I'd drive by this in high school and just shut it off, and then turn it back on, boom, just to piss him off, his parents off.
Get the dumps going on.
Yeah.
Do you have for your personal rigs? Do you have a brand that you like, or do you?
I'm a Toyota fan.
I noticed your 4Runner outside. Is
Yeah,
nice.
well, that's the boss's 4Runner. She
So
had
nice
the-
4Runner.
Yeah.
Our Timmy is a 4Runner man.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
a little.
sir.
There,
18
there it is with that cool trailer.
Yeah.
You made that trailer, didn't you?
Yeah, well, sort of. I modify it. That's a Smitty built, and then all the other crap I just keep adding to it. So that's like my buddies give me shit because
The
it's
real
like
move
old
is
man.
to do wheeling and have a fucking smoker trailer and then just be doing briskets and
I've got
shit
a
out.
fucking Keurig in that thing.
Do you?
Like, yeah, so it's all set up with solar and
That's a good looking 4Runner right there. I like that. All black. It's the
people
new
go
one.
like, you
That's
just
nice.
spent $50K on that thing and you're smashing it on the rocks. I'm like, well, I'm not really smashing it, but
Yeah, scratching it maybe,
That's,
but,
that's
you
what
know.
it's made for. So
They're getting over for those. You see, they're selling TRD Pro 4Runners up the road for like 70 grand.
Are they really?
Like 20 ADM.
That
15 over MSRP.
Yeah.
It's just fucking crazy.
For
Now,
a 4Runner.
I used to work at a Toyota dealership.
a 4Runner that's fucking 10 years old.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a 4-liter. It's fucking,
it's shitty
And you
gas
know
mileage.
because you paint the new color on Tim's 10-year-old
Yep,
truck, and
it's
Tim's
exactly
looks
the same.
brand fucking
exactly the same. But
That was like in the
night.
911s, dude. In the 911s, everyone thinks the 996s and 997s look really different, but if you put 997 wheels on a 996, it takes care of like 80% of the difference.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
The new Jeeps, the new Wranglers are they're more capable, but you don't see people going, yeah, I got 200,000 miles on my fucking
no,
Jeep Wrangler.
dude,
But at Toyota with 200K, it's fucking brand new.
You also don't want to do any kind of real highway driving in a Wrangler. They're just miserable at that. Even the best Wrangler.
What about the new one?
Broncos
Is cool. That's my favorite. What probably one of my favorite builds.
Is that an old Bronco? Oh, look at that.
It's
That's cool.
all
Oh, is
tube
that the one at the
chassis.
Peterson?
Well, no, that one
Is it like the one at the Peterson?
kinda.
The one at the Peterson's like the OG, like the first one ever, right?
That one I custom made all that shit. So it's all tube chassis, 9-inch center sections, and Mog outers, Mercedes-Benz Mog outers, portal axles,
really?
550 horse.
Like as in Unimog outers? Oh, that's awesome.
Made it to a 9-inch center, Cobra Jet,
That's so
four-wheel
cool.
steering. But that, then I shortened all this Bronco fiberglass hood and I do it all, like all the fiberglass
Bro,
work.
if I come out
all
to
that shit.
Ridgecrest, can I try a buggy that has rear wheel steering?
Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see what that's like.
In fact, that car won the first King of the Hammers.
Ever?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
JR. It's,
You own that car still?
No. I built out for a customer. He kind of got.
Yeah, that's a great piece of history.
but it was-
That's fucking dope looking too.
Yeah, JR Reynolds.
Like
that
that.
was a pretty cool little
I
rig.
like that very much.
I'd like to buy that one. I just got hit up. Shit, that car's.
That-
It looks pretty cool now, but that's 10 years old.
Yeah, well, it just
12
looks,
years old.
it looks great.
Thanks.
That looks awesome.
The new Bronco might be cool.
The new Broncos.
If you know what, I'm
going
gonna buy one of those some bitches.
They look nice, I think. I don't know. What I can't tell is how big it's going to be. I can't tell the size from the picture they show.
I would have
Yeah,
bought a
I
new
couldn't
Lincoln.
either.
If they'd have made the Lincoln like they said they were going to, like all the prototype slab side Lincoln, I'd have 64.
Oh, you mean the Continental?
yeah.
Well, they're going to Suicide Doors next
And
year.
it fucking came out with
I
that,
know.
the Ford Probe looking
It was
thing. I don't know.
too
what
little,
that
too late.
was.
I drove the
Yeah.
new Continental actually, and it was lovely to drive. It was really nice.
You know what I really want? I want a Rolls. I want a
Okay.
Rolls.
Who fucking
That's what I
doesn't?
want. Of
Of course you want to
Shing.
lose.
But
There's a lot of value. No shit. I swear to God, there's a lot of value in like an 07 to 09 Phantom.
really,
They're like 120 grand. It's a lot of money,
Yeah,
but
but still.
they were 400 new.
Yeah.
And they're not, and they drop very slowly from that point.
not like my 7 Series.
No. Do you have a 7 Series?
I did
7
11,
Series.
and
Was it awful? Was it the worst car ever?
But
My dad had a 12. It was
Yeah.
the worst car ever.
yeah.
The 7 Series is not where it once
Yeah,
was.
I drive a '84 Chevy truck, man, 4x4 on 40s. That's my baby. I actually, Kim, you want to? Here's embarrassing. You want to know what this builder guy? I drive my daily is a Sonata.
That's
a
okay.
Hyundai
You're allowed to have
Sonata.
that. It's
It's
okay.
like 170,000. I beat the crap out of that poor little car.
Good.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have. You're 100% allowed to have a daily. You don't need to
can
prove
block.
nothing.
This ain't live, right?
No. I'm fully over the idea of you needing to have a super hardcore daily. I don't think you do at all.
No.
I'm driving this electric Jaguar around this week, and other than the fucking headache of public charging, which is a terrible infrastructure system that needs to be worked on immediately, actually driving an electric luxury car around is fucking phenomenal.
I drove a Tesla for a while, and I'm like, man, that thing, it hauls ass,
Yeah.
and it's smooth, and
The
it's
Jags are real
comfortable, and,
quick,
like,
too.
I like, ooh. So we were talking electric vehicles. I thought, man, I'd roll one of those things. But
What's up? Could you build an electric rock roller? It seems like all the torque, infinite gearing. Why couldn't that be done?
just cost alone, it's astronomical. So
Is it really? Why would
they-
it be that much more expensive?
They did it years ago because now you have all 4-wheel drive system with all the steering and all the crap, which is really cool because you could almost have infinite steering with the electric
Yeah.
motor.
But you're racing
hub,
for how
but-
long? How long are you racing?
It's 7 minutes.
Oh
7
my
minutes
God.
on a rock crawling course.
yeah,
but like
dude,
there's that
you
same.
wouldn't even need that many
But
batteries.
for hammers, you could do
No,
it.
No,
hammers,
not for
no.
hammers, but
Yeah.
for a rock crawling
Yeah,
course.
for
like-
rock crawling, because then you'd have to charge in between. And some guys did it years ago. It was just the batteries and the weight of the batteries and everything completely offset the positive of having that. Because even my little Toyota, I have 228 to 1, like a
Yeah.
normal truck. So we have 2 transfer cases, and you have all the shit. So you can
Man,
you
I
can
don't know. How
spin.
long ago was that? Because I feel like
It's been a while.
I feel like
Nobody's-
here's what I would do, because you can buy a battery pack out of a Chevy Volt, which would give you 50 road miles in a Volt.
Right.
And it's not that big. It's a lot smaller than a Tesla battery pack. And it's smaller than an engine, like an
Right.
internal combustion engine. So like that would easily give you 20
what
or
the weight
30
is.
minutes of rock crawling. Tim, can you Google what the weight of a Chevy Volt battery pack is?
Look at the shit. We just designed a new vehicle.
Maybe you
No,
could put
because
the
there's
battery
these
in the
guys.
axle.
There's these guys, these computer nerds up in Reno who built something called the Teslonda. Have you heard of this fucking thing? It's a 1981 Honda Accord with a single Tesla motor and a Volt battery pack, and it runs a 9-second quarter mile. 400, and it does wheelies.
Well, you see that I forget the name of the guy. He's got a sand truck, runs out of Klamath,
Yeah.
and it's all Tesla, and that thing will pull wheelies, and he's smoking 1,100 horsepower rails in this truck.
It's
and
probably
just,
so rad.
dude. He's I just fried another main controller. He's always,
What was the weight, Timmy?
435.
Pounds.
yeah, see,
it's not so bad.
Not so bad, but when we're talking, minimum weight on these things is 2,400 pounds. So you have to meet a minimum
What
weight.
does an LS engine weigh?
A few hundred, about that.
There's the Teslonda.
What the hell?
Pull that over, Tim. The Teslonda fucking rules, dude. This thing is... Can we get sound? Dude, how do you not love this fucking nasty burnout this thing is doing right now? I met these guys. These guys know how to party.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
Yeah. These guys are really, really good fun. This thing has the most cholo interior ever with like the blankets and shit.
It's like a Toyota Gasser or like
yeah.
a Honda crazy solid axle.
And this is basic. This is a Chevy Volt battery, and I believe it's a single 90 kilowatt Tesla motor. It does wheelie, like it picks the wheels up off the ground.
Yeah, no, that's ridiculous.
So imagine you took that and geared it way down.
Way down. Yeah, that's the thing. So you do it all in gearing, and having that amount of torque is pretty
I could
cool.
watch Teslonda Instagram videos all day. It's very funny. Yeah, someone's got to get on this electric.
Somebody will,
Someone
I'm sure. Once the advantages are there.
Yeah.
Did this Poison Spider Wrangler ever run? This guy? Are you familiar with
No,
it?
that's just a show rig. That's Poison Spider. Larry had Poison Spider. It was a bolt-on, that more like you would everyday kind of a thing. We were talking about manufacturers. Jeep outnumbers everybody on the trail probably 10 to 1. And then there's Toyota.
The Miata of off-roading.
Right, and then there's the Toyota guys, the older Toyotas are the mass majority, and then you start getting into stuff like Ford, Dodge, Chevy. But 85% of everything you see, 90% of everything you see on the trail, probably even
Jeep?
more than that, is Jeep and Toyota. That's why you see it. It's
That's
hard
why in
to
the
do
show
shows.
it's probably hard to find rigs that aren't that.
Well, yeah,
that
Jeeps
Lexus
for
guy,
days.
somebody must
Jeeps
have been
for
fucking
days.
ecstatic when the dude showed
Yeah.
up with the Lexus.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love
thousands
those
Yeah, I
GXs.
was-
That built GX was
Yeah.
rad.
Yeah.
Well, we're trying to put together a
Cool
TRAR
truck.
episode.
A what?
A TRAR. Truck cars.
Oh, like
yeah.
Subaru
Yeah, like
Brats
El
on
Camino
Caminos?
on 40s.
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, all right. I like that.
A Dodge Diplomat on a Chevy.
Yeah, I mean,
truck
are
frame or
you
something.
doing themes this season? Theme shows, or is
if
just
they're interesting.
yeah?
You
Who
know?
wouldn't want to see a Dodge Diplomat go back flipping off a waterfall?
I would love to see that.
See, there you go.
You can get some cars like off the Gambler.
Oh,
It's like
exactly.
shit boxes
Yeah.
modified for off-roading. That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
fuck with
Now,
that.
now that we know what to look for, and it's entertainment. So it's,
Yeah, but it's harder to. That's really hard to do. We tried to do it last season, but trying to find 5 dudes that have
Oh, yeah.
TRARs and can pass a background check. Impossible. Impossible.
He speaks the truth. He speaks the truth.
You just can't do it.
5 wife beaters among them. I actually have to say, when I was watching the episodes, like I really enjoy a lot of like the visual challenges that you come up with, like the ways that you guys visualize tugs of war, for instance. I think are interesting with like the tilty grain silo and the pulling the trees out. Like I think that's fun. What? What's a smart bender?
That's where Patrick and I we're like, oh man. So we're like almost 3 years into this. Now. We had episode 2 coming out, season 2. But you're running about a year behind, and I'm hardcore competitor for the last 20 something years in off road, and I'm like, man, that's dumb. And he's all, but you gotta have it look cool.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
But why not just have a tug of war? And he's all, because there's a silo, man. I'm like, well, what the hell is that about?
Because it's
And
going
he's
to be on
absolutely right.
television.
He's right.
Absolutely
Tug of
right.
wars are based on not moving.
Yeah,
It's
so-
not
yeah.
something on TV.
We need something
that's
to
not
happen.
moving. It's
No,
a
so
problem.
he's definitely good at what
He
he
was
does.
he was right, and it's
Yeah,
shot
absolutely.
really well. There's a lot of helicopter. Or is it all drone?
All
now?
drone.
It's all drone.
Yeah, the drone
drones
Air
are
Force.
getting good.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
The drones
So
are getting good. The coverage of the course is great. Course looks fun.
It's fun.
I want to fucking come out and. Except I just learned it's Georgia in August. Now I don't want to go. For a minute
Just
I was like, I
bring
want to
something
go.
with AC.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
Can I? Oh, because I
bring it.
can.
Come with you.
I could. Can I bring something and drive like portions of the course? Like obviously, right? Like I could. If I brought a Range Rover out, I could drive like some parts of the course.
What, as a
Maybe.
competitor or just as a
it's
visitor?
fucking car review. It's like
Yeah,
a
come
fun.
down. We'll work
Just
something
for
out.
fun.
We'll work something
That'd
out.
be fun.
I want to
for
fuck
sure.
around with that.
Yeah. We'll sort it out.
What tease me some good stuff for this coming season? What do you got? What do we have to look forward to?
We're halfway through the current season. So tonight, we talked a lot about Toyotas. Tonight, there's a special episode Wednesday night and tomorrow night, Thursday night. But tonight is all American vehicles, Ford versus Chevy, all of them.
Ooh,
It's going to be
give
a good
the
one.
people something to fight about.
It's going to be a good one, Ford
If
versus
you
Chevy.
have to go Ford versus Chevy, what are your choices for off-roading? It's kind of limited, huh?
Oh,
It's like K5s.
Oh,
yeah,
they
you
are
know,
some of the
and early
shittiest vehicles ever
Bronco,
made.
early
Bronco.
or
Broncos,
O.J. Simpson
yeah.
Bronco. There's one of those on tonight, and it's badass. It's a Baja rig, driven by
I love a good
chick,
Bronco.
Colleen, and she rags this thing. You got to see it. It's pretty cool.
All right.
And
Thursday's veterans.
yeah, so
Look at all
there are
veterans.
kind of themes.
so
Yeah,
there are
there's some
some-
themes. Some themes. I think we have another H1 on Thursday. If you're
Yep.
into that thing.
Dude, you got to do it Europeans all Land Rovers Day.
Hard to find.
You
Would be
can't
great.
find 5 Land Rovers.
No, we had a
who
Land
want
Rover
to,
season
to
1. We
prove
did Dan.
themselves. These Land Rover people
Yeah.
are so defensive about their Land Rover because you tell them, look, the Defender's a piece of shit, and they go, yeah, but it goes anywhere. But they don't want to prove that.
Oh, we had a great Defender in casting this season, but something happened with the driver and she couldn't come on. But it was this.
Dan did good
Prison,
in
it
that
was
thing.
prison, right? Prison happened.
It might have been prison. It was like a Vegas thing.
Yeah, but I don't know about prison. The Defender is just more like wine and cheese. I think those guys are a little more refined.
Yeah, all Euro would be cool.
We gotta get you some Land Rover people. We'll put some feelers out
Hey.
because I'd like to see a couple. Those people are so into
It'd be
their
fantastic.
off-roading. I'd like to see them actually
It's some
put their money where their
Trans-Siberia.
mouth is.
That's a good idea.
Oh, dude.
Good idea.
Porsche versus Land Rover, and then what? A Saab 9-4X 3 vehicles, luxury limousines, maybe. I don't know.
Four people.
Huh?
4 people in each rig. You just got to have a team event.
Oh, team event could be fun.
Yeah, it's just trying to make it interesting. That's what's really cool. I'm learning. I'm not a TV guy. I'm just some builder, and learning all this TV stuff is actually pretty cool, and it's opened my eyes a lot. And I give Patrick a lot less shit than I used to. And
How are you finding the pace of TV? That's usually the hardest.
Hurry
part
the
to
fuck up
adjust
and
to.
wait.
painful.
Yeah. Be
Painful.
ready, but not now. No.
Yeah,
Be
no.
ready.
Oh, yeah.
When I need you to be ready, but not now. Not when you are actually ready.
That's exactly right.
You nailed
exactly.
it.
Dude, all you need is peanut butter filled pretzel nuggets, and you're fucking golden. If they're on the crafty, you're golden.
That's what Crafty goes. a
Keep
long
me
way.
happy all day.
That hurry up and waiting.
That's what I like. I like the PAs. The PAs were awesome. We had our own little PAs.
If you have good PAs, your day can be totally made.
I only want blue Gatorades. I only want, I went full diva. Just
Your
to
rider's
see,
looking good.
just to see if I could, what I could get away with, and it was awesome. And they were awesome. They got me every single thing. I was just I want a white cowboy hat.
Yeah.
And they were, what? I want a 7 5/8 white cowboy hat. And sure enough, next day, bam, white cowboy hat.
What
I'm
is
like,
what were some other than you fixing that poor girl's Jeep? What were some of the other? Were there another heroic fix this season to look forward to?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Got lots of good stuff coming up.
Yeah, they're the competitors this season. First season's always near and dear. I mean, they had no idea what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Just come out and compete in your 4-wheel drive, and you're like, then they get there and go, what the hell, So
The
those
competitors
guys
this year have seen it.
knew it, and there
Yeah.
were thousands of people put in for 60 spots. So there's a big draw. Everybody wants to come show out in front of like 26 million people.
We have a guy coming out in an upcoming episode that launches his Jeep, I think it was, in the first challenge, and blows out his hydro steer, and like his fan belt came off, and like
Motor mounts,
motor mounts, and then
Is this there's
they
a
move on to
jump
fix it.
like 100 feet into the course, like the first jump, and I
There's a
think
few of
the
those. There's a few
episode
of
you
those.
sent me, someone
Yeah.
Endo, the Lexus guy,
And-
Endo's like so hard.
Yeah, we tell them not to jump. They walk the course. They
walk
know
it.
not to jump, and we say go, and they're just
The red
they're just
mist,
pedal-
dude.
Yeah, the red mist. They
This
launch it.
dude endos his Lexus, blows his airbag, and his facial expression is so
They
great.
split his lip.
His facial expression was as if it was still his wife's car. That was his facial.
That's the best part about the whole show for me, is seeing these guys come out and competing like that, head to head, and just, there's TV stuff involved, but it's real. It's not scripted.
I
So
saw
you
a man cry on episode 2.
There's a few tears this
I
season.
saw
There's a few tears
that
this
guy
season.
was like openly weeping.
Patrick catches me
in an
mid-season.
emotional episode of Truck Night America.
Yeah, our last show, they catch me. I shed a tear.
Did you?
It got me I kind of cracked, and I got it right back again. But yeah,
There's some people that come out that the competition is everything to them, and they put their all into it. And they have these, some of them have some compelling stories and reasons for being there. Yeah. So it can be moving when you're there in the moment. I'm with Bender here.
Well, there's a lot of a lot of car people, like they kind of, maybe they're a little introverted or whatever, and so much of their personality is
100%.
wrapped up in their car.
100%.
And it's like totally being put on display. Like, most people don't ever have a fucking camera right here,
No.
while they're competing in motorsport in some car they built.
So somebody told me there was like, between all the GoPros and the Ford drones and all that, there's like 70 cameras
Oh, it's
going
gotta
on
be
at one
so
time.
many.
So
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
ridiculous.
Yeah.
70 cameras everywhere you look, so you don't pick your nose, anything. I mean, you're a TV guy.
No,
you know this, but-
you hot mic. You got to be.
Oh yeah, I learned
You
that
got to
one.
find that mute button on there. You never fucking know.
Yeah, there's nothing like being in on the mics, and then next thing you know, somebody's in there taking a dump, and you're like, oh man, I didn't need to hear that.
I used to really make you definitely want to be friends with your audio guy. Like your audio
they know
guy,
it all. They
your
know
audio
it
guy's your
all.
best friend. He's got the goods on you. So you got to be really, really tight with your
That's where the
audio
whole
guy.
sound guys are awesome. Every time we're kind of off or down on the shoot and the repositioning or something,
Yeah.
you give them a sound guys are awesome, and it got to be a thing. So every single time we do it, we say it 20 times a day. Sound guys are awesome, and they all give thumbs up, and we started playing jokes back and forth. But yeah, you learn that
are.
real quick. The sound guys can make or break you.
Yeah, they can fuck your life up.
Back to the contestants. It's funny because there really is 10 contestants on the show. There's the 5 people and there's the 5 cars, and the cars really are, or the trucks. The trucks really are the other contestants, and they have to be interesting, and they have to have their own personality.
Yeah, there's
and they
enough
do.
nerdiness to satisfy like car people. Like I was given enough information about the cars. Like, oh, it's got upgraded axles and stuff. Like I got it. It's got 44-inch tires. Cool. Like, don't need to know like cam durations.
It's a dial. We dial it up and down.
No, you want to know enough that like what this person did to this thing.
Well, that was some of the stuff I thought was cool. Putting water in the tires.
the water in the tires is cool.
I link and lock this guy's front end. I'm like, oh, that'll be great. But it doesn't work.
The other one I meant to ask you about was that I'd never seen before was Ratchet strapping the body down to the chassis. I'd never seen anybody do that before. That's a weird one.
Yeah. Now on Jen, when we were talking about that, I was just trying to collapse the suspension, and the Jeep will rock over too. So trying to keep that thing from hopping is you're increasing the spring rate.
Yeah.
And the thing, and like on the backflip in it, now you have all the weight of that unsprung weight again. So the sprung and unsprung weight's a big deal. But as far as hopping, she had like 10-year-old boggers on that thing. They were like plastic, man. They were really hard, and she should have walked away with that thing. But yeah, the Jeep was a little loose, no shocks. You know, they were all blown out, and it was kind of.
But yeah, no, I've never seen someone ratchet strap a chassis.
Those
down
are some
before.
of the neat, interesting things that people
trick.
always like.
Little
Yeah,
tricks.
you know, so those little nuggets are pretty cool. Some of the more interesting stuff, like the car guys were welding the diffs or something, don't get shown. They think it's lost in editing. It just gets too hard to explain.
It gets a little too inside baseball, I think, for some people. But as a car person, you were satisfied with the amount of information we kind of.
Yeah. And I was not bombarded with faux drama. It's like, all right, let's get to the race. Let's get to the fixing part. Let's get to it's good.
Yeah, Patrick
we're not for the faux drama because we have enough dramatic stuff happening. So.
No, the action is covered well enough, and people are constantly breaking shit. I mean, if you have a series of people breaking shit throughout a 44-minute episode, you're not going to be starved of content.
Yeah, the show's done awesome. I did a better. I mean, Patrick nailed this thing. I wasn't a believer when I first showed up. I'll be honest. I was like, well, another car show, you know?
Yeah, no, I having watched 2 episodes last night, I thought it was a fucking great show.
Yeah,
it was a lot
awesome.
of fun.
It was interesting, and once Teresa jumped her truck, 8 feet in the air and folded it in half, and I went, wow. And then the first 15 seconds of the show, the very first episode we were there, I went, wow, this is real. Patrick's onto something.
It's just a path of destruction.
Yeah, and the numbers, man. They were last year we hit well over 1 million several times. It was
That's
in the
great.
top 10, and it had more live viewers than like Monster Jam and AMA Supercross and all that crap. This fucking truck show in Georgia. So it's
a fun show.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's covered sort of like a motorsport and sort of like a reality show, and it's not too much of either. It's good. It's good fun.
Yeah,
Like it a lot.
good, interesting characters with stories to tell, and like funky people in cars.
Yeah, but there's enough of the contestants, but it's not like
we don't overdo it.
Yeah, at a certain point, you're like, all right, I don't give that much of a shit about this person. Like, I'm much.
Let's
more
just get to the race.
Well, I'm more invested in the person's truck than I am in that human. Because it's only 40 minutes.
And I actually did name the final course after the Nürburgring.
Oh, the Green Hell? Yeah, I caught that one. That's great. Yeah, the Green Hell.
A little Easter egg for the car.
No,
people
that's a good one. And the course looks fucking hard.
It is.
It's
It's hard. It's hard. It's 3.5 miles of gnarliness. I mean, it is legit.
Yeah, there's some good stuff in there. Is it representative of a miniaturized version of a Hammers course? Maybe
it's a lot more mud. The Hammers we were out full on desert racing. Then it's mixed with rock crawling. So you have some of the hardest rock trails in the country mixed with the hard desert racing. So this is a little more mud. It's kind of like American Ninja Warriors for 4-wheel drives. It's kind of so it's kind of cool. But everybody, even these rock bouncers we talked about earlier, we had a couple, Jake Berkey and Travis Lovett, come on last season and drove normal rigs. But they're both accomplished rock bouncers, and they're like, man, that was fucking fun. They dug the course.
Yeah.
I mean, so
it looks like fun. I want to go drive it.
It would be perfect for a 2020 Range Rover.
Dude, I watched the show, and my thought was like, I would like to try that course. Like, I think I could do it. I think if I had, I don't know about that river section, you need some real articulation for. I don't know if a stock vehicles can do that, but everything else, it seemed like a stock Range Rover probably could get through it.
Probably. With a winch, you could probably get through the swamp. Maybe
You could do 44 inches of water in a Range Rover.
Now, the car pile's no joke. The first year was kind of we had a hard time. It'd be too easy and smash it down, and then we'd throw more cars in there.
Why? 'Cause it's basically a junkyard pile of broken up cars.
Like
Is it hard
100
because it
cars.
pops tires?
First season
it
took
did
out a
season
lot.
1. Yeah, lots of tires.
So
It
this season,
doesn't actually look that hard on TV.
but it's slippery and it gets wet.
It's pretty, and there's some big holes in it. As the season progresses, the cars start to collapse a little bit, and then there's these holes that we didn't know were there, and people drive up and they just
It's an
nail 'em.
evolving obstacle.
Yeah,
there are people winching off of the top of that car pile.
there's some winching that happens. It doesn't end up in the show. I mean, it's
Actually,
a tough obstacle.
I think I saw someone get out and do a winch. I think it was
Tim, in the puddle duck.
the Blazer. Yeah, the Blade Trailblazer.
It's terrifying when there's people walking around up there because it is sharp and slippery and
Yeah. There was like 4 frames where he got out of his truck, and I was like, he's going to go winch it, and then like cut back from commercial, and they're like, and he's off again. I'm like, oh, really? Is he?
Yeah.
Is
We
he
got
not?
shit on that. I hear all kinds of shit about the car pile. Why do you get a car pile? Why don't you just get a big ass pile of rocks? You're like, how many times have you driven over a big ass pile of rocks? People go, all the time. And like, well, when's the last time you drove over 100 crushed cars? Well, All right, well, there's the point.
There's also no rocks within 200 miles of that place. That's a factor.
Yeah,
You
but
can't just like
everybody's
go up
driven
to Stone Mountain and be like, ding, 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 ding.
Everybody's driven on rocks. Nobody wants to do that shit. I mean, you want to see something cool.
No car. It is good, but it doesn't. It doesn't. You can't tell how hard it is. That's all.
Everybody who shows up there says, every single person, every one of them, 50 from last season, 60 from this season, not one went, they all went, holy shit, this is way bigger, way harder than I ever
when
thought
you're
it
there,
would be.
it's bigger.
I bet if you're because a lot of the shots are from drone or from if not from drone, from an elevated position down, so it's kind of hard to get like a scale sometimes of like how big the thing is.
We got a lot of camera positioned on the course, but they often get hit and run over and destroyed.
I saw one dude in a background of a shot fucking running away from a guy who was like
car.
getting terminal understeer, and this dude like ran behind the berm.
That sounds exactly right.
Yeah, if you could keep some of the camera costs down, if we could not damage cameras every year, that would.
Well, that's part of the fun.
Holy shit.
Yeah, I bet you guys break a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
Probably
we're gonna break it.
You just
Cars,
smash mini
cameras.
cams though, right? You're not breaking big cameras.
No. Well,
Dropped one in a lake last one.
One went in the
and
lake
had
last season, and one just got absolutely destroyed with mud this season.
Nice.
800 horsepower mud
800
bogging
horsepower
truck
in a
with
mud
44
bog,
inch
yeah.
boggers and just
That sounds good.
It was raining mud 40 feet in every direction.
It could be worse though. A friend of mine dunked a Pursuit Systems head. Like was filming it like the
was that when they were
Cayennes
filming
with the
Mavericks?
crane? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know the Cayenne
yeah, I
the
saw
crane? He was going and while they're driving he smashed the camera into the ground. $250,000.
damn. Yeah, last season I blew up in a shop. I showed my ass. I was throwing shit and it was the same day they dunked the camera. So I thought Patrick was going to come in and go, hey, you need to calm down. But luckily I got saved.
More of that.
Yeah, luckily the camera hit the lake and they looked past me being an asshole.
It's funny on a show that I won't name here. There was a similar incident with they were doing a counter move with a very expensive luxury vehicle and a crane system on a car coming this way, and they had rehearsed it a few times going counter directional, and they were supposed to lift the crane.
Oh no!
And they mistimed it. This was a brand new, very expensive luxury vehicle. The manufacturer won't mention, and they absolutely
car and camera
wailed
and head.
Car, windshield, camera, just destroyed.
And the head too,
just
probably,
destroyed
right?
everything. And the people inside were not thrilled. Not thrilled. It was gnarly.
How was the shot? Did the shot survive?
I never saw the final shot, and I don't think it was part of the
Usually,
unnamed
if
television
the camera
program,
dies and the shot survives, it's usually worth it.
I'm sure the shot is fantastic. I haven't seen it, but it was expensive all around.
Shot's fucking sick.
Yeah.
It's like we got to use that shot. It cost us $250,000.
Yeah.
Anything on the super chat before we wind this down and send Bender and Patrick back out into traffic? If you got anything for us, now is the time. Oh, it's a light day today. We've been having shows every week.
Any thoughts
every
on because it was this week, that new Koenigsegg Jesko?
It's fucking awesome, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Jesko.
Jesko.
It's named after Christian's dad.
First
That's
300
badass.
mile
I
an
read
hour
up on
car.
it. Oh.
So, you ever see a Koenigsegg in person?
Did they actually do 300 or is it?
No,
it's
hypothetical.
They're saying
it's
it,
like
it's
276
designed
or something
to.
like that.
It
Yeah.
probably will. But like,
It's badass.
he builds cars as if no one else in the world has ever built a car. Like he doesn't. He builds cars like in a vacuum. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, but that's what
Look at that.
I'm nowhere near, but that's what's like. Why do you do it that way? Because that's the way I fucking want to do it.
Gonna have to take
everything's
everything out to
old school.
Pahrump.
Everything I do some
he
CAD
never
stuff. That's what's
assumes
awesome about
that the way it's been done is the right way.
Yeah,
ever.
that's what's so awesome.
Yeah, and it's I mean it looks awesome. It looks it looks really really pretty, and that wing is just fucking crazy. And it's supposedly like 1,400 horsepower. And
Yeah, so when you test one of those, we'll come play with you, and then you come out and you drive in the dirt.
I drove the Agera R, the last one from, it was like 2013, and it was fucking so cool. I mean, it was like a fighter plane.
Yeah.
Like it was really, 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 really. Someone just give us $100. Wow. Hi, Eric. Thank you. Yeah, no, the Koenigseggs are nuts. They're unlike anything else. And they're coming out with a new one, but they have another new one that's going to have a naturally aspirated engine. Have you seen that free valve thing they're doing? So they have an engine that has no cams. A camless engine.
The electric valve.
It has hydraulic actuated lifters, and so you can program them. It's an infinite camshaft.
Yeah,
So
that's badass.
I went in one of their cars that had it. They had a little Saab that had it, and you got 350 horsepower and 60 miles per gallon on pump gas out of a 2-liter, and with nothing else. It was a stock Saab that had this head on it, the free valve head, and so the new car is going to have that.
That's pretty good. We did this thing last year about all the trucks and stuff like that, because that's where my heart's at. But it's cool to see all the supercars and stuff like that. It's totally out of my realm, but that's what's badass about it. And we're talking about technology and the things. That's all car nerds in the next 5 years or whatever.
It's really
gonna
wild.
Be insane to see.
I'm telling you, I think an electric rock crawler is where you got to be, dude. It's so. I mean, I know we all like noise and engines and we all love that shit. But I feel like you could build a very effective
All
tool
about weight.
for that job.
I'm gonna go crunch some numbers, because the weight is absolutely where it's at. But if you can strategically mount batteries and other things on axles and other things,
you can mount it where you want it.
You're free. You don't have to have it.
Is 400 pounds a lot of weight?
Well, it depends. If you could do a motored hub, people we've tried hydraulics in the hubs, hydraulic motors and other things, but it's so slow and so complex that this thing is always articulating and moving around. So it has to be easy to drive too. So if you could have an electric motor in each wheel in the hub,
that achieves
now you
your
could
goals.
steer anything you want to do. Your axles are completely. You don't break those anymore. You don't have any torque buy into the motor on the chassis. You don't have any of that thing. So I could see it happening. Honestly, it's going to be price point. Yeah,
and you also have the option for crazy torque vectoring.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You can drive it one wheel at a, forget tank style. You can have 4 switches and drive it with 4 accelerator levels.
So we'll do front and rear, front wheel drive only, rear wheel drive only, ARB open with brakes, and you can skid
so
the things.
many
You can do all kinds of stuff, and then 4-wheel steering, and you can get them to do some pretty cool things. But that would open a whole new shit. You could turn the thing to literally 90 degrees and just drive sideways. So,
that would be awesome.
Yeah, I don't. We have to see if the rules say it has to be a combustion motor, but
I don't know. That'd be cool.
You would change the game.
All right, let's see. Danny says, looking to get into used Volvo XC60. Are they okay long term? I have no idea. That's a Consumer Reports question. I have driven them new. They are lovely to drive, actually. The R designs are really good. I don't know, man. If I had to guess, I would say no, but I'm just guessing. I'm totally just guessing. I don't know, dude. I would say check out Consumer Reports. I know that's not a great answer from me, but that's all I got. I have no idea about a high mileage XC60. Let's see. Pure Hard Styles says, I decided to get the Chevy SS. As I think this is a guy who asked questions about. He's in Australia. Okay. Oh, the question is thoughts on buying a modified car with a bigger cam versus stock for similar money and miles. Okay, same money, similar miles. Buy a car that's been modified versus buy one that's been stock. First question is, do you plan to modify it yourself anyway in exactly the same way as it already is modified? If not, I don't know. What do you say?
In my world, it's stock. Absolutely stock, and then do it the way you want to do it. That's part of the fun. Is you modding it the way you want to. You don't want to. That's buying somebody else's model car that they've already put together.
I know.
It sounds like a lot of question marks.
Yeah, but
unless it's done in exactly the way you were going to do it already,
right?
Which it could be, but I don't know.
Never happens. You don't ever go up to a car and go, "That is exactly every single thing I would ever have done to that car."
It's rare. But it's happened to me. But it's rare. Yeah. But I mean, if it's just a cam, The cam indicates a few things, though, doesn't it?
It means that thing's been ragged out. It's already beat on.
You don't put a cam in it unless you're
now in the off-road world. You want it as stock as you could possibly get it, because it's just been beat on. So you just get a nice fresh car, and you do the beating.
You start the beatings with you. I'm with Bender. I say stock. Corey says, "Oh, how much wood? Yeah, it would lots of wood, Corey. It's a woodchuck thing." Eric says, "I've always loved the sound and feel of Porsche 911s, and if $20,000 can get me a 996 C2, I'm really tempted to pick one up. Is it worth foregoing the 996 for now and saving up for another 5 years to get into a 997?" 5 years is a long time. And if you want a car now, I mean...
5 years is a long time. You're going to be a different person in 5 years.
Absolutely.
You don't know
You're
what's
not
going to
want
happen.
that same car.
Here's the bigger problem. If it takes you 5 years to get from a 996 to a 997, you can't afford to fix that 996 when it breaks.
Now
You
you're
don't
being
have
all
any-
logical and shit about it.
Dude, I don't want to see someone buy a Porsche and immediately have a broken Porsche that they can't sell, can't fix, and can't drive.
That's why I don't have a Rolls. I want a Rolls
Yeah.
bad, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want to fix that fucker.
Yeah, this is really the problem, dude. If you've only got 20 grand, you really don't want a Porsche. Like, you just don't. Something really expensive is going to break, and it's going to cause a big fucking problem. And if God forbid you blow the motor in that car, it's 25.
I mean, they're 20 years old now.
It's 25
they're
for an
coming
engine.
up on 20 years old. That's not a new car.
I'm not gonna. I mean, look, you just donated $100, so thank you. I mean, but you should have kept that for the car, my friend. I don't know, dude. I would say save up just to have extra money for when that Porsche breaks. I feel him though. I love the sound and feel of 911s as well, and I would do whatever I could to get into one.
Or
but
he could wait 5 years and then get the 996. Then he's got some extra cash for the
That's true.
maintenance.
That's true. If you can wrench and you want to work on it yourself, ignore us. But I'd say if you can do it in 2 years, wait. If not, dive in now. But beware, because that car might cost you more than you've got.
And make sure the IMS is done.
Also that. IMS, mandatory. Joseph says, what are the odds of a one take of a semi-truck? I talked about a semi-truck recently, and someone emailed me and offered to let me drive a semi-truck, but it was kind of far away. Do you know any local truckers?
You want it?
It's like 18 gears you're going.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to drive a semi-truck. I don't
Really?
think the actual audience will care. I just want to out of curiosity.
Yeah, one of the tin benders, one of the guys in my club, has a trucking company.
Oh, yeah.
So
where are they out of?
Hesperia.
Oh, yeah.
Just
That's
over
not
the
far.
hill.
Maybe we can sort that out.
And I think he hauls like old burn up like human waste. So
I'm sorry?
It's yeah, like they treat shit. So,
Dramatic pause in that.
yeah, so you get to drive a shit truck. How awesome would that be?
Poo, huh? Hauling poo might get messy. Yeah, we can look into.
I totally
the,
made all that up.
Did you?
Yeah,
There's no the part about the trucking company or the part about the poo?
No. The trucking company's for real.
But the poo is fake.
Absolutely.
All right, fictional
That's-
poo.
Yeah, I have a tendency to do that. It's called a benderisms on the
good.
show, where it's I'm pretty good at it.
You rode that horse pretty far down that road. I like it.
So there is a trucking company up in Hesperia.
There is.
There,
yeah.
there is, and he is really.
Yeah, they don't haul poo;
buddy.
they haul corpses. I was making that up. Shakar says, there's an all-wheel. Okay, so the hubs. He's talking about. There's a kit for a Civic Type R, and I believe there's a similar kit for a Porsche 911. That's an aftermarket hybrid system where they put hubs in the wheels. Put motors in the wheels.
That would be the ticket.
Yeah, there's one for a Civic and there's one for a Porsche, and they add 50 to 60 horsepower per motor in the hubs. So if you had if you had one in every hub, that could be cool. Yeah,
Right.
The kit was ridiculously expensive for a Porsche, but
Now, as long as we can get the reduction, because if the motor, I mean, literally, it'd be, the motor's not, you don't want it to spin 100 miles an hour, 120 miles an hour.
Right.
You need to do 10. So
Yeah.
having a gear reduction, or the motor to where it'll spin slow
Yeah.
enough. So it may be a
interesting
different style motor.
Could
but
be
yeah,
custom, but that's
yeah.
fucking cool. All right, well that's where we're at. Truck Night in America is airing.
It is airing this week, special double premiere week. We are airing tonight, 10 p.m. on History Channel, tomorrow night, 10 p.m. on History Channel, and then back to your regularly scheduled program next week on Thursdays at 10 p.m.
Yeah, but it's 7 on this coast. That's what's
10
awesome.
p.m. Eastern, 7 Pacific. Yes.
Yeah, reruns
10
at
Eastern,
10.
7 Pacific, and then reruns at 10.
Yeah.
So, all right, gotcha. I gotcha. Bender, thank you for coming down,
Absolutely,
sir.
brother. It's
Braving
been a
the
lot of
rain.
fun.
I enjoyed your company.
I wasn't sure how this was going to go, honestly.
It was. I was thinking badly.
Yeah, I'm a total bro and off-road guy, and you're like the
No, you're
street
great.
tech, god. And I was like, wow, how's this going to work out? You know, it's gonna
Tech
be,
God.
Tech God, huh? No, just a dude with a couple cameras who likes cars. Thanks for coming down. Follow Rob Bender Park on Instagram. His Instagram looks fun. I'm looking forward to following him. That looks good.
There's all kinds of old cars and stuff,
Yeah,
and
old cars,
all kinds
off-roading,
of junk about
crashes,
Yeah,
big beards,
yeah.
bald heads, wraparound sunglasses, flat bill hats,
flat brims.
lots of flat bill hats, and Monster Energy.
Yeah, no skinny jeans though. That's all right, and I can know how to pull my pants up. So
There
it's-
you go.
it's all good.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate your
Absolutely.
time. And that's all for us. The Smoking Tire Podcast is powered by Shout Engine. Get your own damn podcast at shoutengine.com. It's easy. All you need is the internet, a microphone, and ideally something to say. See you guys next time. Bye.